Catalyst for change with the chance to thrive. Crystal is the one to stir up gifts and save lives. You get exposure, promotion, and marketing too. And advertise for business owners just like you. On Storytime, your interview is global. Virtual or in person, just come on the show. Yo, your story matters. Crystals will open the door. 40 years of experience, ready to give you more on Storytime. Get ready for Storytime. Hey, come on.
Good evening. Welcome to Storytime. I am your host, Crystal Bodie Smith, aka Shout Crystal. First and foremost, I want to say thank you for your patience. If you know anything about technology, you know that there's things that has to be done in the background sometimes, but we have all our lovely ladies ready to go to share with you about their experience. And I'm going to tell you right now, it'll be well worth your wait. Okay? We are excited to be here. We don't necessarily like that we have to have this conversation, but we have to have this conversation. All right. So right now, I want you to do a couple of things. I'm going to remove the screen. I have four beautiful faces in front of you. Genede, I have Nikki, I have Genede, and I have Deirdre. And they are my lovely guests tonight. And we're going to get into the nitty gritty tonight. So I'm going to remove this so you can see my face after you hear my voice. And right now, we're going to talk about some rules. So hello. Hi. So listen, thank you for waiting. Thank you for being patient. Okay. Here's what I want to say to you. We're going to go over some ground rules, okay? Tonight, this is story time, y'all. Story time is here where we get the ball going, where we talk about things and we share information where human beings connect, right? We connect through life experiences. All right, so we want to remind you while you're here to like, share, and make sure you comment. And we want to make sure that if you look for that button somewhere on the screen, it could be to your left, your right, it could be on the bottom. There's a button that says subscribe. We want you to subscribe. You see what it say there? Subscribe. All right. The other thing we want you to do right now is we want you to take a moment to share this with 5 friends. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you have 10, share it with 10. But this is going to be important and they're going to thank you later. All right. And another reminder, please like, share, and comment. And when you comment, what's going to happen is that's going to let our guests know that you are there. So if you're a family member or a friend, let them know that you are there. Okay. And that's it. So I see Deirdre Miller. She's there. She says hello. So hello to you, Deirdre. Thank you so much for being here. Miss Deirdre is actually going to be a young lady. I'm having a conversation with her on the 28th, and I'll show you that flyer later. All right. She's going to have a conversation. I'm actually going to have my last conversation with her for domestic violence. But with that being said, let's go. I see Country Life is in the building. Country Life, nice. Hello to you. Thank you for being here tonight. We appreciate you joining, and we look forward to engaging with all of you. So keep sharing, keep caring, and keep letting people know that we are here, and because this is important. So many times people are out here because they want to do the things that have to do with entertainment. Hey. So first, I'm going to introduce the first guest. The first guest is a young lady that I know. I actually know all these ladies. That's the beautiful thing about it. I know all of these ladies. I just met the last one, but I know them. And so it's always a beautiful thing when you know them. This is a young lady. She is a domestic violence life coach, a survivor of domestic violence. So she's an advocate. She's assisting women currently in their situations, helping them with court cases, restraining orders, and resources. And she definitely is out there, and she has a hashtag victim to victor. And she has quite a story. So we're going to start first with Miss Nikki Hemby Oneal. Are you there? Hey, hi,
Nikki. Hey.
Good to see you. Thank you for being there. Thank you for joining. Then we're going to go to our next guest. Our next guest is Deirdre Brewton. Deirdre is a visionary, an entrepreneur, an author, a clinical and data professional committed to living life with purpose, passion, and legacy. and she has a heart for empowering women. And that's why she's sharing her story today. So we are so proud of her. We want to welcome Deirdre to the platform as well and say thank you for joining us. Deirdre, are you there, girl?
Hi, everyone. Nice to be here.
Hey, you're looking good, ladies, looking good. All right, next we have a young lady that I met today, and her name is Genede, and she's an English professor, an artist who integrates creativity and compassion into education, and her work centers around supporting students who have experienced domestic violence and trauma, and she uses art and poetry as therapeutic tools to help them process their pain and rediscover confidence and express their stories through language and visual form. My, Janae, that sounds so powerful. Are you with us, Janae?
Hey, hello everyone.
Yes.
Hi, Genede.
And of course, last but not least, I want to bring to the floor the young lady who actually is the reason why I did this because of what she has coming up. She has coming up live in Raleigh, North Carolina. She has a nonprofit, Diamond Ink Foundation. She has a heart for people. She is loving, and I also know her personally, and she is beautiful soul. And I want to bring to the floor Genede. Are you with me? Genede, are you there? Can you say hello, Genede?
Hey, Genede.
Hi.
Yes. Hey, ladies. How you doing?
All right. So there we have it, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
am.
Yes. So this is our panel for tonight. Once again, thank
Woo!
y'all for being here. I want to say congratulations, ladies. I want to say kudos to you. And I just want to say I am grateful to be able to do this with you ladies on this platform. And we want to definitely have conversations that's not always so easy. And I know that I did a small introduction of you, but I want you each to take a moment to just say something, say hello, say where you're from, if you're from Raleigh or if you're not. Give us that elevator pitch. And I'm going to put the camera on you to do that and allow you to do it in the same order that I brought you up. Okay? So I'm going to start with you, Nikki.
Hi, I'm Nikki. As she said, I am a domestic violence life coach. I advocate for women and support women who is experiencing domestic violence, need a fast escape, or simply just need support getting out and getting away. This experience can be so intimidating and scary all at the same time. And some ladies are just all alone. And I'm there to help them file for restraining orders. If it's been a sexual assault and they need a rape kit done, I assist them with that. Even go to court with them, stand in the gap and let them know that I'm there and that they're not alone, because they're not alone. And a lot of this I do in the background, it's very confidential. Try to provide a safe space. I've helped women and continue to help women, and I want women to continue to just keep talking. Don't be silent. Speak out, speak up, get out.
Wow.
The way I
Thank
can
you.
help to make that
Yes.
comfortable.
Thank you for that. That is amazing. And next we have Deirdre.
Good evening, everyone. My name, I guess what I'd like to say most importantly about myself is that I didn't expect to be in this circle. I just had a domestic violence situation occur within the last 30 days. And it's the first time that I ever encountered something like that. So I'm here for those ladies who thought it could never happen to you. Why did it happen to me? You is leaving you with a ball of confusion in your mind, like, how could this happen to me? And I want to turn it over and say, why not you? Because God is giving me a message to come and let you know that because it happened to you, it's your voice that you can get out, that you can live past this, and that you do not have to suffer in silence. So I'm sounding the alarm and I'm exposing it because, yes, it happened to me. And I never thought it would happen to me. I'm 56 years old, and nothing like this has ever happened to me. But now that it has, I'm sounding the alarm. And yes, I was ashamed and scared and felt sorry for myself. But I'm coming out. So I'm looking for my sisters here. We're all together and we're supporting one another. And hey, I'm here.
Right.
I'm here.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, so proud of you. So proud of you. And that is so important that you said that, because the new people who go through it that first time, and I'm going to let the other ladies expound on that later, that first time, because a lot of time people are in secret, they're holding it because they're in shame. So thank you for that. And next we have Genede. You're muted, Genede. You're muted.
Hello, everyone. My name is Genede Wilson, and I'm an English professor and an artist. I do poetry, spoken words, based on experience that I have endured, based on experiences I have seen others go through, and I offer that outlet for those who have been in a situation where they have been abused. And as a first-year director, I also opened the door, had that open space for young adults that come in, because you'd be surprised how many students come in and have to deal with domestic violence on campus. So I'm there to actually support them, make sure they're okay, let them know that they're not alone, offer them resources where they need to go. And also some students come in, they have had domestic violence in high school, so they still wear that trauma. So what I do is actually offer them an outlet with art, just for the healing purposes, and just give that support. So I'm just that support system within the educational system. That's all.
Thank you. And last but not least, I have Genede here. And again, it is your turn. Let me put the camera on you and allow you to go. And
Well, hello, everyone. My name is Genede Wilson Matthews. I'm the founder of the Diamond Ink Foundation, and the purpose of the foundation is to help battered women and the youth to get out of domestic violence. I'm very passionate about that because we have so many people that's walking around that's thinking it's their fault or something that someone else did to them, and it's not your fault. And I'm here to help you, and the rest of the ladies on this panel is here to help you, let you know that you can make it. And you don't have to be ashamed about anything. Thank you, Crystal.
you might have some connection issues going on, Genede, but we're gonna fight the devil on that, because he's trying to keep you quiet, but we're not gonna let him win at all. So I hope that we can get that together. But ladies, Deirdre said something. Deirdre said it's her first time, and she said she was scared. And I want you to know that you have some people out here that are rooting for you, that are here. Deirdre, your sister's here. Your sister Candy is here.
Hi, Cutie. Love you.
Candy is here. Karen Walker's here. And Karen says, hello, I'm here for all the women, especially my beautiful friend, Nikki. Okay. And we have a young man here, Ja. He says, peace to you ladies. And of course, Country Life says, nice. So I want you to take a moment, ladies. This is important. We are right now live on Facebook. So if you're my Facebook friend, you can go to my page and share this live, because we're live on Facebook right now. Okay, so if you have another device, you can share this. We're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, and again, we will be sharing this live, and it will be available for replay afterwards. But I want to address that first time that Deirdre spoke about, because there may be some first timers. And before we went live, I have to tell you a little bit about me and why I do this too. Because when I told my daughter what I was doing, she said, well, Mom, are you going to tell your story? I said, I ain't been beat up. I ain't been hit on, And so let me just tell you something for those of you out there. Domestic violence looks different for everybody. So my situation was a little bit different because I am the person who is a little bit more physical. I'm a New Yorker. And so my situation afforded me to not get the bruises and everything, but I had the physical encounters. So when the things happen, I was that person that would stand at the door and say, "You're not going nowhere," and block the door. And then the results of it would be furniture all over the room, on the floor, the dresser on the floor, and everything out of the dresser was on the floor. The mirror was broken and stuff like that. So my children did get to see some stuff, to the fact that even now to this day, I still have to let them know, well, your mother never had hands put on her, but to them, they still see domestic violence because they saw the physical encounters that made them uncomfortable. I still have a finger here, a nail that has broken, and the whole nail has come off from an encounter. And so they see the scars. So it is so important that we evaluate our situation and our relationships and make sure that we protect our children, because
Yeah.
it comes in many different forms. And one of the things that Deirdre is going to talk about on the 28th is the verbal part of it, because a lot of it can be verbal too, and it doesn't get spoken about a lot. But I want to talk about that first time and how you felt that first time, and if you spoke out that first time. So I want to ask you that. I want you to give us a little bit of your encounter. I'm going to go back to you to give a little of your encounter, and just talk about your first encounter. Did you even know it was domestic violence? And did you call it that, or did you hide it, or did you just keep living it because you didn't really understand what it was? And I'll start with you, Nikki.
Oh, I really didn't know my encounter was domestic violence, because there are so many different forms of domestic violence.
Mhm.
A lot of the domestic violence that I suffered in the very beginning was not physical, you know, it was more psychological, emotional, and financial abuse. Um, so I didn't know in the beginning, didn't even know that such abuse existed.
Wow.
Um, so no, I didn't. Oh, do I need to talk about my first encounter?
Yes, 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 yes. If you know, here's the thing, ladies. I want you to say what you're comfortable saying. This is a touchy scenario for you guys, and some of you may still have some things where you may be doing some things legally, or you may have some restrictions. So
Right.
I will let you say what you're comfortable saying. I mean, I know you're not going to name names, but I will allow you the freedom to speak as generally as you like to speak, or as graphically as you like to speak. It is your choice. You are here voluntarily to help bring awareness. So yes, if you can remember that first time, the big thing, because there's women and men and children who may be watching, so that they can maybe understand and recognize if they're in a situation like this, but they didn't really know because they don't know what it looks like. So yes, if you could talk about that first time. And my biggest question is, did you know that it was domestic violence when it happened?
Um, no, I didn't think of it as domestic violence. I dealt with more or less um, involuntary isolation, confinement, the control factor, didn't want me to be around any friends, was keeping family members away from me. Um, if it was something going on and I tried to call someone, there was threats, there was threats made. A lot of mine was, like I said, psychological and emotional, with the first beginnings, financially. It did not, uh, the first time that it was ever physical was the last time. And that was at the very end. So it was more or less like taking a battery out your car. So you can't get to work. You got to catch a ride to work, but you have a car. Little things that hold you back. I could be at a girlfriend's house and we having girls' night, and uh, he would get into one of his siblings' cars and drive up and down the street crazy, like instead of just stopping by. Um, just controlling, more or less, and verbally abusive and sexually abusive. Um, I can't get into all the semantics of it because I do have a book that's coming out, and I don't want to give away uh, a lot of the truths and things that will come out. So um, I can speak on the one physical thing that happened, me being stabbed and staying. Not after the stabbing, but when I knew it got scary for me and it was time for me to go, I was waiting on God to tell me, to kind of guide me out the door. Then I kind of start leaning to my own understanding, because he had got into some trouble doing some stuff in these streets, robbing and going back and forth to court. And I thought that God was going to remove him out my life by sending him to jail. And I guess that's why they say don't lean to your own understanding, because when he was supposed to turn himself in, the court was full, so it got transferred to another day. And that night is when a lot of the abuse started, and I was attacked. I was beat up, and then I was stabbed, and I was basically left for dead. That's the name of the book. I was basically left for dead. And I ended up in the hospital. It was on the news. I was held in the hospital under assumed name. I was under a different age. I think I was like maybe in the hospital hidden as a 91-year-old, and I was unconscious for some days. And I know when I woke up, the detectives and stuff was outside my room. I couldn't talk. I had been stabbed and nicked in my vocal cords. So I had tubes and all kind of things going on. But I can attest that it was a very scary situation. Quite like what Deirdre said, a situation I never expected myself to be in. A lot of people assumed that I was getting beat on every day. And I wasn't getting beat on physically, but I was getting beat on pretty emotionally and sexually. So it was a very, very scary time. Depression. I went through a lot of different stages of anger, shame, disgust, depression. They wanted to put me on a whole bunch of medication, but I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do the medication. I knew at the end of the day God was my healer, and that I was going to come out of this thing stronger and better than I was before. It was a long healing process, and I'm still doing some healing. I'm still dealing with some things, but I fight it. I fight it to the end. But I did learn, when things like that happen, you have to have the resources, and you have to be surrounded with people who can listen and understand and not judge. Because you don't want to come and tell people when you think you're going to be judged, because everybody's favorite thing to say, why did you stay? Why did you stay? You're so psychologically messed up in decision making, and you're going through shame and embarrassment. And the last thing you need is to be judged. You just want to be heard and understood. And that is some of the hardest things that I found for family members, friends to do. Their thing is just get out, get out, get out. But it's not that easy. There are women out here who don't even have the resources to just leave. Some women are going through financial abuse and have never paid a bill, have never had their own money, don't know how to pay a bill. So when you're going through that, you just can't like uproot yourself and just be out here. Some have children that they're thinking are in danger. You've been threatened, and sometimes these men make good on those threats, and you know that they'll make good on the threats, and you're scared out of your mind. It's just like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If I leave, this can happen to my kids. So I just want to be there to let them know that they don't have to be alone. They're not alone. There are resources for you out of here. There are grab bags that you can get. There are plans you can make and set aside to get out. Start planning that getaway. Because sometimes what I did, we stayed too long. And I think that's with me. Sometimes we can stay too long waiting on the sign. And the sign is simply in your face. Leave.
Wow. Yes, yes. And thank you for sharing. I'm so glad that you're okay, because you said he stabbed you and left you for dead. And so I remember when this happened to you. I do remember when it happened. And I want to say you're so brave. You know, now you have a book coming out and you're sharing what happened to you to help others. So that is amazing. And God kept you for that, you know, just like you said before, to use your voice. Now, Janae, I'm sorry. Do you remember your first time? You're muted. Okay. You're muted.
Okay, are you able to help? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. First and foremost, I want to make it clear that I'm
Yes.
an advocate for domestic abuse. I make sure I help assist individuals that actually experience it. So mine has never been indirectly with abuse. However, I had to see it with my mom. My mom, she was disabled. She was deaf, and I had to see her go through being abused, being beat on and stuff. So that just put so much passion for me to want to be able to help individuals that have to go through that. So my
That's
experience is a little
important.
different. My experience is a
That's
little
important.
different. Yeah, I'm just a support. I support women. I support men as well, because men also suffer from domestic violence as well. So it's just not one sided. And also this domestic, it can be physical or mental.
Yes.
That's important to be able understand. Now, as far as mental abuse, I'm quite sure a lot of people go through that and they don't understand that's still considered abuse. If it's
Absolutely.
mental or physical, if it's mental, it's still the same as being domestic violence, if someone's continuously mentally abusing you. So being able to make that identification as to when you're being abused, some people don't know, as Miss Nikki Oneal said, some people don't know if they're in an abusive relationship. It may be just verbal, but it's all the same.
And sometimes they think it's normal. And it is
Yeah.
important, because when the children see this, they think it's normal. And then they get in relationships that emulate what they saw with their parents. So that's the thing. Now, we want to hear from you, Genede. And I know you see a lot more because of your job. So I'm going to let you speak to your first experience, how you found out about this, whether it was personal or what it was. So I will let you speak and tell your story now. And move up a little bit more with your camera. But yeah, it's on you. Come up some. You're muted.
Okay.
There you
Hello,
go.
everyone again.
Wait,
Well,
hold on one moment. Hold on,
I
Genede.
dealt with domestic violence because of my mother. My father was very abusive to my mom, and she got married at a young. Yes.
Okay, are you speaking? I was gonna say move up some so we can see you. Move your camera up so you're up more above the sign. Like come closer. Do what you have to do. There you go. Up a little
Can
higher.
you
A
hear
little higher.
me?
Yes, I can. Move it up a little bit and then go ahead. Yes, ma'am. I think it's your connection. Maybe you might have to turn your Wi-Fi off. I'm not sure. So yeah, try that now. It looks like you're stopped pixelating. So I'm gonna give you a moment to get that
I don't know. Can you
going.
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead, try now.
Can you see
Yes,
me?
I can see you. Try now. I need you to, if you
Okay.
can come up higher, it would be great, but you can
All
go ahead
right.
and
So my mother. Okay. So my mother was a victim of domestic violence. And she moved from a whole nother country to keep us safe.
okay,
And
hold
then
on.
my
Hold
personal
on.
encounters when I went out with some friends to a party, and a friend that I was like a brother put Mickey in my drink, and he raped me at gunpoint.
Mm.
Then acted like my daughter was calling me and just left, got up out of there, made up any excuse I could to get up out of there. And I felt like, okay, it was my fault. because I shouldn't have went with him. And I was like, no, it wasn't your fault. So it kind of messed me for a while. I work for a prison system. I know how to defend myself against inmate, but at that time I was vulnerable. I was under the influence. I didn't know what was going on, and I was embarrassed. And it took me a long time to come to the conclusion that it wasn't my fault. You know, it wasn't my fault. I didn't make him put a gun to my head. I didn't even tell him to rape me. He did it on his own free will. And so that one was one of the reasons that I was very passionate about speaking out and to let other women know that I'm here to help you. We have to put an end to this, because you have a lot of men that think it's okay to rape somebody and abuse them, and they don't have any consequence. So I'm here to say enough is enough. We're taking our power back.
Yes, yes. And thank you for that. And I hope that you can get that, because man, you were saying some good stuff. And every now and then I know it was breaking up. And I said that's the devil trying, but we're not gonna give him the victory at all. So try to see while I'm working now. Deirdre, and hearing some of these stories, did this make you feel more like you're not alone?
Thank you, Crystal. No, not at all. I can really identify with Nikki. My incident was not as hard as hers, by no means. However, when she mentioned, what resonated with me is when she said her first time was her last time, because that's exactly what mine was. I mean, when you think about you know, and I feel like I can, you know, probably identify with a lot of women who think it will never happen. It could never happen to me, you know, because I used to get off on those shows. I don't know if many of you women, I like to watch Snapped and, you know, Forensic Science Files. I'm a biologist by trade. You know, I love science, and I love how you can, you know, find the DNA to get to the bottom of who did the crime and all that stuff. So I watched those type of shows, and I used to watch the women, you know, Lifetime, you know, why don't they just leave, you know? And if some man ever hit me, you know, or a woman, you know, I know men get abused as well. So I do understand, but you just think it would never happen to you. And I was that person. I was that person dealing with an individual who, you know, was verbally abusive at times. You know, they would flip. You know, I call it flip. You know, when they would flip, I would just go to a different room or something and close the door. But I realized I never thought that it would escalate to something physical. And so when it did, I was literally shocked. I was just literally, you know, taken aback, because I was like, and it lets you know how, I won't say, you know, how it could just change in an instant. Like, you feel so insignificant. You feel so scared because, you know, you never think somebody would put their hands on you like that, hit me like a man would hit a man, you know. So it scared the living, it scared the living daylights out of me. I was so confused. I just did not know what was happening. And all I wanted to do was get to safety. I remember when we were driving actually at the time, and the individual, you know, I was like, I got to stop the car because, you know, I can't see. My face was bleeding and everything like that. And I was like, I got to pull over. So I pulled over. This person got out of the car and they was like, well, let me drive. They was going to drive the car. They was intoxicated. Of course, I wasn't going to let them drive when they was intoxicated. And it was just like a split instinct that just said, take off. You know, when they got out the car to come around to the driver's side to take over, because my face was, you know, filled with blood, and my lip was busted, everything, you know. I mean, my smile, I know I ain't gonna do nothing, but my teeth I still got to go get my teeth fixed because, you know, he messed up my teeth and everything. But it's not about the physical. And I'm not here really. I said I didn't want tonight to be about swapping stories about what happened. I'm more about you can get out.
Yes,
And
yes,
you need, and we are here to be your support system, sister,
Yes.
brother. If you need that love, if you need that hug, because my tribe came when I didn't want to tell anybody what was happening to me, because it's a shame. Like, like this happened to me, and I'm, you can go through all my Facebook, all these years I've been on Facebook, ain't nobody ever hit me, but this happened to me.
yes.
And so
yes.
I'm here to express that I just want to love on somebody. Like if I could help one sister to get out of that situation, get out of that narcissistic. I've looked at narcissistic things about men. I've been like, Nikki probably could help me with some things. I'm still going through. Like there'll be times I'll be going through my day. I had to go to work every day. And I'll just start crying. I'm like, why am I crying?
Yeah.
I live alone, but I work alone. And like, I'm just crying. I'm still trying to get through the day. 24 hours a day. This has changed me. It's reshaped me, but I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
Sending you a virtual hug right now. Sending you a virtual hug right now.
Yes.
And Genede, and that's why Genede started doing what she started doing.
I need to do some art. I need something. I got my wine right here. Let me stop.
Yeah. So domestic violence. What is domestic violence? By definition, it is a violent or aggressive behavior within the home, typically involving violent abuse of a spouse or a partner. And so if you are in a situation and you've never been in a situation before and it doesn't feel good, then you need to recognize if you're in a domestic violence situation, verbal, mental, physical, emotional, all those ways. You have to look at it. It doesn't look one way. It's not always going to look physical, So really check it out. And like I said, verbal is a big one too. A lot of people don't talk about. So ladies, we talked about an exit plan. We talked about we don't want to hop on what has happened, but we want to hop on how we get through it. And we talked about support system. And again, I want to commend you for coming out and saying it. And we also want to say how important it is to speak to your children when this happens, whether you have sons and you have daughters. Ladies, do any of you have conversations with your children about this to help them get understanding and to help them to not be in the same situation? Any one of you can raise your hand and go first.
Oh, I guess I can go. I had to talk to my children. I had to talk to all of my children. Actually, 2 of my children was there during the attack. One of my daughters was actually involved because she was trying to get him off of me. So she was hitting him from behind. And it really traumatized her to a point where she left the house and was just in the streets because she couldn't come back to that house after what she had seen. And when I was going through my counseling with Interact, she was supposed to go with me. It was set up so that the children could go. So that because they were one was under 18, my other one that was there, she suffers from adult autism, and they both were witnesses. And it was set up so that they could go to therapy sessions as well. But one of my children just ran from it. She didn't want to talk to anyone. She didn't want to be anywhere around it. She was just going through a bunch of mental, psychological stuff. And so, yeah, it was a lot of conversations. You see the trauma. And I say you have to have the conversations because I remember when I finally did go home, I wouldn't sleep because I was up all the time. And how I knew my kids was affected is because if I moved, if the floor creaked, they were in the room. Mama, is that you? Are you okay? So you saw they didn't feel safe. They still was in the trauma. So it had to be constant conversations about what happened, how are you feeling, how are you dealing with it, to talk. It even affected things during the trial. because she was deemed, not fit to go through a trial, So it really did have a downing effect. And the conversations need to keep happening because
Yes.
we have teenagers who are 14, 15, and 16 who are experiencing this right now.
Yes.
Even through text.
Yes.
They
Wow.
don't need to know that if you're constantly texting someone, are you there? Why you're not responding? That's a form of abuse, And so our teenagers, whether boys can be getting texts from girls, and it's talking mean to them, calling them names. It's all abuse, and it starts as early as 14, 15, and 16.
Wow.
So it needs to be conversations before and after. We need to
Yes.
know what their minds are and if they know that's appropriate or inappropriate behavior.
Yes. And on that note, Genede, since you're in the schools, you're an English teacher in the schools, did the students start to come to you, or did you start to see behavior or withdrawal? How did you begin to really get involved, and how involved are you with them when they come to the school with this?
Well, definitely, you have to be approachable. I always leave myself, make sure I'm relatable to the students so they can feel comfortable. And that's the first step. Individual feeling safe with you or feeling comfortable to come expose what's going on with their life. And my office was always open. I'm always on campus, and so the students would come often to my office, and I would wonder, like, sometimes they would come late and just hang around the office because they were worried about their boyfriend, stopping them or wanting to fight them or wanting to do things that they didn't want to do. And that's when, I just said, what, I went to talk to some other advocates within the school system, within the college university, and asked them, hey, what should we do? Because a lot of our students are experiencing abuse.
Wow.
And it's big. It's surprising. It's very big on the college campus with young adults.
Wow. Genede, in this prison system, since you work in a prison system, I'm sure you see and you hear a lot. I think when we were having conversations on the phone, you said sometimes they boast about this. The men are bragging and boasting when they do this. Can you expound on that?
All day long. I should have got that B. I should have did this. A lot of them brag, like it's the thing to do. They don't care. They have no respect for women. And it didn't just start, and you have to realize that it's a learned behavior. It started when they was younger. They saw it happen, so they continue it. It's a pattern with them. Men that beat on women will never beat on another man because they're scary. You would never think that the people that commit all these harsh crimes when they go to prison, they're so like nonchalant and quiet and scared. They're scared of their own shadow. But when it comes to a woman, they don't care. They say, I should have killed her. It's been many incidents where a piece of paper doesn't save your life. Because if they want to kill you, they're going to kill you. And they brag about it all the time. And the prison system, the court system don't really help because they don't do anything. Especially when it comes to brown and black people. They don't do anything.
Yeah, yeah. And ladies, I know that there are some different agencies out there like Interact. I heard you mention Interact, Nikki. I know Family Promise is a place in Wake County. Family Promise of the Triangle is a place. There's a couple of places. There's a helpline. I know there's a suicide hotline. I wonder if there's a domestic violence hotline, ladies. Anybody know? And then there's some other places, and there's some groups.
There is a domestic violence hotline.
Yeah, I was going to say there is one.
Anybody know the number, the domestic violence hotline? Look it up on your phone and let me know so you can tell us. But yeah, so there's a domestic violence hotline. But the biggest thing is don't fall for the threats when they say you better not tell nobody. Because sometimes they'll threaten you or they'll threaten your family.
Right.
They'll threaten your family and say if you say something, they're going to do something to your family. So you have to understand. And if you're watching this, go back and have those conversations and say, listen, start telling your children young. If somebody threatens you and tells you they're going to do something to me, don't listen to that. Come to me anyway. So these are the conversations we have to have. We have to put down the cell phones. We have to pay attention to our children. We have to pay attention to what they say and what they don't say. When they withdraw, when they go in the room, when they're quiet, when they're in the dark, we have to know signs. So we have to pay attention to signs of depression, signs of fear, and just signs. And we have to also speak up to them, hold those people accountable. I mean, do y'all agree? And so, Deirdre, did you have conversations with your kids? You mentioned something about your children. They try to keep your children away. And so afterwards, after you had that conversation, it was easier for your children, correct?
Well, it was like a lot of people say they like to isolate you. And so when my children came around to visit me, they felt like, because that person didn't live with me, but it was always there. And, it was just a presence in the house. And then it made them feel uncomfortable because he didn't want them to be there. And they kind of, he didn't come around when they would, be in his presence. He would go in another room or something like that. So they didn't really like to be around if he was going to be there. This is just what they personally felt. I know, but what I think about is my son, because I have girls and boy, a son as a child. And my son was just so upset. And people used to tell me that, if something were to happen to you, you need to be careful because your son is going to want to retaliate. And I never thought about that, at all. I never considered that. But just know that when it did happen, my son was really wanting to retaliate. And when you think about, you could, potentially put your children in, not just girls even or boys. I'm just saying you could potentially put them in harm's way because you've got this person that you invited into your space that,
Wow.
Your children are, maybe responsible. Things will happen. Things can escalate.
Yes.
And so you just have to be knowledgeable about that. You have to take not just your safety into consideration, but the safety of your children.
Yes.
So just know that. And if anyone else has anything to say about that.
Well, let me show you something here. There's a few things a couple of people are chiming in and they're saying. I want you guys to see what they're saying because they are saying some things to us. Number one, and I'm going to put up a flyer because we're actually going to have a live event here in Raleigh on the 19th. We have a live event in Raleigh. But before we go into that event, I just want you to see what something, and there's some men even saying some stuff. So number one, here's the domestic violence hotline number. Here's the number. Okay.
Can you add the text too? Because some women aren't able to dial out or call the phone number.
Okay.
But they may be able to text in Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
But it's you can begin to text at 88788 if they can write that down. And that text is 88788.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And then one of the other men, because there's some men, I love the fact that there's some brothers in here saying it. Mark said he fought for his father. You fought for your father. So your father went through it. Wow. So there's a brother that said he fought for his father. Wow. So that's interesting. That men even get put in a situation.
Exactly.
And another person, of course, Deirdre said she's so sorry that this happened. And Candy said she's extending hugs to everyone. Mark said psychological like gaslighting. This is what they do. Yeah. And he also said physical like battery. So people do understand that these things happen. All right. And so ladies, the people are seeing and responding. So thank y'all for the comment. Thank y'all for the comments. But coming up in Friday, if you're in the area, we have an event coming up called The Power of Women. Talk to us about what this is, Genede. What's happening? Tell us what's happening at this event.
I came up with the idea, the power of women, because so many times we are pushed to the side, like we don't know what we're going through or what we've been through, and there's power in numbers.
Yes, there's power in numbers.
I'm gonna say that again. There's power in numbers.
Absolutely.
When we come together.
Yes, and so and she's breaking up. So in the midst of her breaking up, I'm trying to fill in the gap.
Person
So
that
this
I know it's not going to happen on my watch. Period.
I got you, girl. So she said breaking the cycle of domestic violence and sex trafficking, because we didn't
Hear
talk much
me?
about that. Yes, sex trafficking is definitely one. If you go back about 2 Sundays ago, I actually interviewed someone that talked about that. So I'm glad you added that. But these ladies are going to be on the panel. There's going to be an open discussion. So this is where you can get the real hugs in person. You can get the real hugs in person if you come here. And it's a free event, but they're taking donations. I'll be a moderator. It's hosted by Genede. These ladies are on the panel. And we have another young lady who is an advocate. That she's powerful, man. She's powerful. And so she's going to do a call to action. So this is taking place at the Legacy Center in Raleigh, North Carolina on the 19th. Mark your calendar. So this is going to be good. And then also, ladies and gentlemen, like I mentioned before, on the 28th, we actually have an event on the 28th live here on Storytime with Deirdre. And we're going to talk about the verbal portion of it. The domestic violent conversation will continue then. So tune back in then. So we're glad. So I'm just so excited to have this. So let me ask you, ladies, anything that you want to bring up without me asking you specifically just on your heart about this, as far as the exit or anything that is on your heart. A lot of times I do ask questions, but I do want you to be able to speak what's on your heart. Deirdre, I'll come to you because I thank you for being here, because I'm so proud of you, and I know you have some things to do later, but and I want you to know that you are making a difference by speaking out, you know. And there are a lot of people that hide, but this is going to help. And you're going to begin to get inboxes. You're going to begin to get texts. You're going to begin to get phone calls. People saying, I heard the story and I'm going through it too. And that's going to make you feel like, okay, I did the right thing.
Right.
You know, I did the right thing. So you keep your head up and we do that. And you know that you have support. But anything that you want to say that's on your heart.
Well, I really want to thank you, Crystal, for having this time, for us to share. I want to thank Nikki for sharing her story. Thank you for your courage to leave, courage to get out. I want to thank you, Jana. Did I pronounce it right?
It's Janae.
Janae, forgive me, Janae.
Okay.
And I got a granddaughter named Janae. So I want to thank you for all you do with the artwork and really loving on those students and seeing them, because that's what's most important, is that you see them. And Genede, I mean, it goes without saying, you're hosting this event, you're giving us a platform to be
Right.
able to come and share. And I pray to God that if there's anybody in that audience, that needs to be delivered, that we might, reach them, even in their situation. They may be hiding in secret, because it's sometimes you feel a little bit of shame. I remember I didn't want to tell anybody when it was happening, when it happened to me, I was like, because it happened, and I was afraid to call. I was like, who got I call? I can't call my kids because they gonna be like, Ma, you let this happen to you. I know, and everybody, I just was thinking about what everybody else was gonna think.
Right. Right.
Like I had to separate myself from that and be like, what does God, how does God see me? You know what I'm saying? I'm a child of God.
Yes.
Right.
And then if this helps me to help one person, I don't belittle what happened to me. I mean, my story is certainly not like yours, Nikki. I mean, my God, I was not left for dead, but I could have been. I could have crashed my car because I was driving the car when I got hit. What I'm saying? I could have been in an accident. My car could have flipped because I didn't even know somebody was going to hit me. So it was like out of the blue and it could have knocked me out. But, thank you, Jesus, that didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? So if there's one thing, and I wrote out this little thing, I said, if there's one thing I want every woman to remember is this: you are seen, you are known, and you are restored. Your pain was never meant to define you. It was meant to refine you.
Mm.
So I invite you to join me on October 19th at the Power of a Woman event. Come expecting deliverance, restoration, and a fresh wind of healing. Because the question God is asking each of us is simple. Daughter, do you want to be healed?
Mm.
And when your heart says yes,
Amen.
that's when your power returns.
Right.
Wow.
Thank you, Crystal. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you,
That's
ladies.
amazing. That's
I can't
amazing.
wait. I can't wait to meet each and every one of you and hug your neck.
Yes.
Oh, my
Yes.
sisters for
Let
life.
God continue to use you. You know, sometimes people say, why us? Like you said in the beginning, for some those who may not have heard what you said in the beginning, Deirdre, you said, why not me? Because God knows your heart. You sing the praises, and God knows that you are not afraid to use your voice. So he said,
I cried out. I was like, I need a healing for my soul. And that song, y'all need to listen to that song by, what's her name?
Which one? Leandra?
No,
Tasha Cobbs?
no. So, I need a healing for my soul.
Come on.
I need a healing for my soul.
Come on.
I need a healing for my soul.
Yeah.
I forgot the words though.
Listen.
Okay, my kids, I know they laughing at me, but that's another story.
But you know,
Her name is
laughter-
Kelly Price. Kelly Price, made famous by Kelly Price. I need a healing for my soul because I needed a healing for my soul because I didn't know what just happened. And Deirdre, I can't wait to meet you too, Deirdre Miller.
And she said, thank you so much. Thank you for your courage. You know, listen, ladies, you know, it's not easy. Genede, do you write poetry too? You help them to do what they do, but do you also write? Because if you do, and you have something written for this, we would love for you to share it. If you have a piece that could speak to what's happening tonight.
Okay, well, definitely I'm going to be performing October 19th. And yes, and showcasing my art, because what I do is I'm an artist, I'm a painter, and I write poetry to go with it, because everything it's like a spiritual connection with me and my art. So I look forward to October 19th, being able to show you guys what I do, and I'm quite sure it's going to resonate with each and every one of you guys.
Thank you so much, Tim. Tim is in the building tonight. Tim Johnson, we love you, Deirdre. He said we love you. He said amazing job, ladies. Thank you for coming through. Tim Johnson is we're going to be sharing his story soon. He has a book called If Hair Could Talk, and it is not about hair. It is probably about life. If I know Tim, he's phenomenal. He will speak life into you, so I can't wait to do his story again. So this is what Storytime is all about, y'all. Giving people the opportunity to share their stories and talk. And Genede, how you feeling now? How you feeling now? I feel like now once we take this and once we do these clips and put these out there, that's going to get more people to want to come out that maybe were hiding. They're going to want to come out Friday, you know, on the 19th. They're going to want to come out.
Sunday at 1:00, Crystal.
Sunday at 1:00. They're going to
Sunday at
come
1:00 on the 19th. That's right.
Yes.
They're going to want to come out.
I know.
Anything you want to tell them to expect. Somebody got to mute their phone. Anything you want to tell them to expect.
Come on out and experience the power of women.
Amen. Taking our power back.
I'm so thankful and grateful for all of y'all that's on this panel, because it lets me know that, you know, the reason I named this company, my company, the Diamond Foundation, is because that's what the Lord told me to name it. And I've been doing this for a while, over 25 years. And I kept saying, Lord, you gave me an assignment. You told me what to do, but I need you to help me to do it. I've been trying to put this together for a while. And every time I ask him, he'll say, not now, not now, not now. And whenever I try to go forward with it, he's like, I said, not now.
Wow.
Do it. You know, and I'm so thankful, Crystal, that I have all my beautiful sisters here. And y'all do not understand the joy that I feel in my.
To God be the glory. We thank you. We thank you. We thank you for that.
Thank you, Genede.
That's good. Well, we're not going to keep you long. We just wanted to give you a sneak peek of what to expect. We wanted to start to give a voice to this. And I'm going to let the ladies say one final closing comment, and because we know that we don't want to keep you long, and just anything that you want to leave the people with, and final thoughts about this whole thing, about domestic violence, about how they can reach you. Make sure you incorporate how they can reach you, contact information, any type of slogans, hashtags, incorporate that. And just some type of affirmation that you may want to give to the individual, some type of affirmation. Give them the affirmation, okay? And we'll let them do that. And I'm sure she'll be back, because I know that the internet will make us go. But guess what? When the internet is like life. What she's going through right now, with the internet, that's how life is. That's how these relationships are. When you're in these domestic violence relationship, it's going to be in and out. It's going to be in and out. So that's just an example of how you need to be able to get out if you're in, and how you need to be able to keep pushing when they try to silence you. You see what's happening to her? It's ordained like that for a reason, because that's what happens in these domestic violence relationships. They don't want you to speak. They don't want you to do certain things. They try to quiet you. And that's why that's happening to her right now with the internet. You see, so you have to see the correlation. So ladies, I'm going to give you the opportunity to give closing remarks and just give us some final words. And Janae, if you have any kind of piece that you could share, I would love you to share a piece. I know you do it with your artwork, but just for the people virtually that may not,
spot.
that would be good. And Deirdre, I'll let you go first in case you want to drop off and do that. But God bless you. God bless you.
God bless you. What the devil meant for evil, God meant for good.
Yes.
That's all I got to say.
And that's it. That's it. So that's good. So if you're going to keep it short and sweet, you can stay here to the end and we'll keep you there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And how about you, Janae?
Okay, if you look behind me, you can see my screen. That's actually a lady with a tilted crown. Do you guys see it?
Yes.
I see it.
So that's one piece of my artwork. So yeah. You'll see.
Ladies, I'm back.
Can't wait to see it, Janae.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing.
Wow. So you don't like doing your poetry without the art. That's what I'm saying. So you don't want to do a piece now?
You want me to do it in piece, right? Well, give
Give us a little. Just give it a cup to the event.
Just come to the event. You will be pleasantly surprised. I mean, I like to have the artwork as a visual aid behind my words. So I do spoken word with visual art, if that makes sense.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Genede, so did you have any other comments? Because I said we're going to let everybody give closing comments, or was those comments that you gave your closing comments? Did you hear the question? Bless her heart. So Nikki, how about you? We're gonna let you give us. I want to say to you, girl, I can't wait till your story comes out. I can't wait till you do the book. I know in your book it's going to be a handbook. It's going to be a handbook for ladies. It's going to be not just something to read, but it's going to have a lot in there. As though it's going to be so deep. It's going to be something that's going to help these women. It's going to give them a blueprint. I know it's going to be a blueprint. So any words of summation you'd like to give us?
I'm hoping it is going to encourage, and I'm hoping it's going to push 1 foot at a time, 1 foot forward. I want to say we was a victim at start, but being a victor is now where we are. And that's why I say from victim to victor.
That's good.
God's going to get the victory first, and then we're going to get the victory. We don't go through anything that's not ordained. God ordained this so that we could pull somebody out with us.
Amen.
We going through it. We're laying the blueprint.
Amen.
And we're helping other women and men and children out.
Yes. And your phone number, if you want to reach out to Nikki, her phone number is 919-389-1740. 919-389-1740. I had that up here. I don't know why I can't find it at the moment. But we definitely want to make sure that you guys have a way to reach out to us. This is not just something we're doing just to be doing it. They want you to reach out to them. They are here. They are saying they are here, ladies. and men, if you have daughters, because sometimes then you have single fathers raising daughters and sons, and you may not know. You might want to and have conversations with the little boys. Please have conversations, because you heard what she said. The boys are bragging and boasting, so have those conversations and let them know this is not the way to go. This is not how you get brownie points. All right. I don't know if you heard me before, Genede, but I want to find
Also,
out if you
Crystal,
have closing comments.
yes, also, I wanted to touch on the sex trafficking because it's not something new. It's just something that's it started to happen back again, and people are not paying attention to their children. I really need parents to start listening to their kids and start asking them questions. When your child tell you something, you need to believe it. And kids are like 5 years old being missing. You know, you have parents rushing off to work thinking it's okay for the kids to get on the school bus, and you have people out here, pedophiles out here watching your kids. You have teenagers going to parties with people that they think are their friends and being kidnapped. And then what's happening is that, oh, I don't know what happened to her. She came with me, but I don't know what happened. These kids are being paid by these grown people that's come to these schools and acting like they're students. Because, you know, we black don't crack. We all look younger than what we are. You know, so you have people that's going to the schools, wanting your teenagers, daughters, and sons to go places with them, thinking they popular. Because kids wants to be where the crowd at. Kids always want to be where they feel accepted. And we need as parents to start validating our children, letting them know you are beautiful, you are this, you are that, you know, so they don't feel like they have to go look outwards for that, you know, that approval. A lot of kids end up in prison looking for approval.
Wow.
And a lot of our children gets missing because they want to belong to something. Because one thing I've noticed that you have to speak life into your children. You cannot not speak life into them and expect them to go to school and be productive. That's how they fall into the trap of abuse situation, because now they feel like I can't talk to my mom. I can't let her know because every time I say something to her, you know, I'm going to have a negative reaction, and they keep it to themselves. You have kids committing suicide because they being victim at school, they being abused, and they don't have no way out. You have kids running away from home because maybe their father is stepfather is abusing them or sexualizing them, and they don't feel like they're being heard. It's so much, you know. That's why I say sometimes it's a pattern. We have to deal with stuff because of other people's patterns, of other people's issues. They saw it didn't just happen. It started when it was younger. It's a learned
Yes.
behavior.
Yes.
If I see my dad as hitting my mom, the next person I get with, I'm gonna think that it's okay. And so we really need to think about it, and we really need to let our children know, even as young as 3 or 4 years old, good touch, bad touch.
Amen.
Yes.
We need to
Yes.
teach them what a stranger danger is.
Yes. Yes.
Everybody is not your friend. Every
Yes.
people come up to you because they have a motive. Even as
Mm.
adults, people come up to women because
They
they
got
have a motive, and we have to stop opening the doors and letting people know everything about us when you
Mm.
first meet
Amen.
somebody.
Yes.
And I tell everybody, when you meet somebody, you go online and you check to see what their status is, because you have a lot of people getting out of prison every day looking for their next victim.
Mm.
Come on.
And when you say, let me see your license, you know, and a lot of guys out here that cannot get a job, now they wash cars, they detail cars, they try to, and you always meet the representative, ladies. You always
Okay.
meet the representative. And just know that if they're cursing at a woman today, that's gonna be you tomorrow.
Mm. 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 Mm.
Mm.
Wow. That's
Me,
powerful. And
I
thank you so much for that. That's so
That
good.
was good, Genedy.
And let me
Thank
tell
you.
you this
Just
to
know
add
the
on this.
sign.
Yes. 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 And Genede, you start to break up, so I'm going to let you stop there. But
because they can only hide it for so long, lady.
Yeah. It comes
wow.
in.
Wow. Well,
Thank
I
you,
thank you for
Genede.
sharing that. That's
Did y'all
powerful.
hear me?
Yes,
They
it
can
was.
only pretend for so long.
That's it. That's it. And I thank you for saying that. So that's good. Your Wi-Fi is trying to go in and out, so I'm gonna let you stop there. I want to add this closing comment, ladies. 2 weeks ago, when I had the FBI investigator on, and I had a page on Facebook and all platforms called Missing, Lost, and Sex Trafficked. I'm gonna say it again: Missing, Lost, and Sex Trafficked. She helped to find these missing children, and she talked about this. She
Wow.
talked about these girls being vulnerable and people being vulnerable and the patterns of that. She talked about the children, and one of the things she said is that parents, we have to pay attention because something's happening now that didn't happen when I was coming up, and I'm a baby boomer. I'm about to be 67. These kids in elementary school, 6 to 7, have these devices. They have iPhones at 6 and 7 years old. And what's happening is, and I had a friend of mine told me the other night, last night, my friend in Charlotte. She said, "Girl, I was laying in the bed. My grandson is 3, and he called me at 1 o'clock in the morning on the iPad." So these kids, when the parents are asleep, they're getting on these devices and they're in these rooms. They're in these rooms, and when they're in these rooms, these predators are luring them. They're getting them, and you're sleeping on it. So if you're going to give them the phones and the devices, you need to have protection. You need to have they limitations. You need to take it at night so they can't access it. It is your responsibility to do that. She also talked about a lot of things, and I'm not going to go in and make this longer, but y'all really need to check that episode because she talked about some families have people missing and they can't even find the people because the family member don't want to divulge the business because they're embarrassed. So the child is missing and they have details, excuse me, but they don't want their family business to be aired out, but yet their child is missing.
Jesus.
They want to protect their reputation
See?
before they find the child. What she was schooling me for stuff, I was like, this is deep. So God, it's
We're
so
gonna go check it out, Crystal. It's on your it's one of your shows you just did.
yes, it's called Pebbles Wilson. If you look at it, scroll through. I have so much stuff. I have over almost 300 videos. Like y'all really got to go through. Like I said before, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Y'all ladies are welcome to come back and do your personal stories.
Can you put the flyer up, Crystal, just to let people know where they need to come to on Sunday?
Oh yeah, we're gonna put it back up. Yes, we put it up, and we're gonna
be at the Legacy Center off of 5501 Six Forks Road.
Yes.
If you live in Raleigh or in the neighboring areas, please come out and support 5501 Six Forks Road. We're going to start on time.
Yes.
At 1 o'clock.
Yes. Yes. And ladies, thank y'all. Thank y'all for being here. We appreciate y'all. We are going to let you go at this point. We're going to let you go. Thank y'all for being here. We appreciate you so much.
Thank
you. Have to watch
Storytime.
If you have a story, please, you might find one on my channel that you relate to. It's there's no story too big. If you have a situation you're going through, let us know. We'll help you, whether it's a business, a product, a service, or if you've been through some trauma. I love you. My name is Crystal Bodie Smith. I'm the Hope Catalyst. My mission is to stir up the gift, instill hope, and save lives. And my tagline is keep hope alive, because we have to keep recycling hope over and over again. Ladies, I'm so proud of y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just want to say one last thing, one last sentence as I come to each one of you. Say your name and how they can reach you, your name and your Facebook or your Instagram. That's all I need you to say, your name, how they can reach you, Facebook, Instagram, or phone number. And I'm going to go to the next person and we're closing out. That's all I need you to say. Okay, so I'm going to start with you, Genede, while I got you. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Genede Wilson Matthews from the Diamond Ink Foundation. It's Diamond Ink Foundation at yahoo.com.
There you go. Next, coming up is Deirdre.
Hi, everybody. I'm Deirdre Brewton, and you can find me on Facebook at Deirdre Brewton. Spell it correctly, Deirdre, last name Brewton. Thank you.
Excellent. Next, we have Janae. Oh, that's Nikki.
Hi, I'm Nikki Hemby Oneal. You can find me on Facebook at Nikki Hemby Oneal. My number is 9. You can also contact me at 919-389-1740 for any help or assistance or resources.
Excellent, excellent. We thank you for being here. We appreciate you. We'll see you on Sunday, the 19th in Raleigh, North Carolina. Come out, contact these people if you have any concerns or you want to follow up or you just need support or you just need a hug. God bless you. Keep hope alive. We'll see you on the next Story Time.
A catalyst for change with the chance to thrive. Crystal is the one to stir up gifts and save lives. You get exposure, promotion, and marketing too. And advertise for business owners just like you. On Storytime, your interview is global. Virtual or in person, just come on the show. Yo, your story matters. Crystals will open the door. 40 years of experience, ready to give you more on Storytime. Get ready for Storytime. Hey, come on.